All
I
right,
very
so
much see that.
let's get into a bunch of these deals. We got a ton of stuff to talk about. I want to start with this one before we get into the juicy Anduril Elon Musk stuff, because let's get this out of the way. This one was a very confusing one. The entire community didn't really know what to make of it. We weren't sure until we got the official press release. But Palantir expands their Army Vantage partnership with the Army for $618 million, another 4 years until 2028. 400 million for 4 years with a total available ceiling of 618 million. Army Vantage, we've been working with the Army and Palantir since 2018, so since they went or before they went public. So 2 questions here. A, for those that don't know what Army Vantage is in a nutshell, what is this contract and why is it beneficial for the Army to use Palantir? B, why are we getting a 4-year extension all the way to 2028? And does this mean that the Army is just going to be using Palantir at this point forever?
Well, they will be using Palantir, hopefully for the rest of our lifetimes. First, the thing I wanted to say about the Vantage contract, and shout out Bobcat Gang, DV 007, appreciate all the hard work you guys put in, well as a couple others, Will G for the spreadsheet dive. I think part of the problem is, and when we first dug up the Vantage deal that we knew was coming, that more Vantage was coming, it's extremely confusing. And I shared the redacted document online of the Vantage deal, and it's 13 pages, and basically 7 whole pages is blacked out. So I can't see it, you can't see it, so it's very, very hard. I'm going to try and do a better job going forward to just try and get all the facts up front when these stuff come out. But the problem is either the organization or Palantir, they don't release it by the time we find it. They take a day or two, which, they're entitled to, especially if we find something that they're not ready to put out yet. Things happen. So it's very hard. And with this specific Vantage deal, because the dollar amount was the same exact penny as the previous Vantage deal, it looked like it was exactly completed because we found all the payments of all that original Vantage deal that added to the penny $618 million that started in 2018. So this was before Palantir was even a public company. They've been doing Army Vantage. Then what happens is, and I've spoken about this on this channel with you, is the Army is looking to pivot away from Vantage. And what they're trying to do is they're trying to implement this thing called Army Data Platform 2.0, basically. And what happened is the vision of Army Data Platform 2.0 is not living up to what the expectation is supposed to be. And what it's supposed to be is, in my mind, is obviously a better, enhanced, quicker, souped up version of Vantage. And for whatever reason, they can't either bring it to the level of, satisfaction to the command, or they just can't get it to the same level of just Vantage on its own. And that is why they expanded the Vantage deal. Because if you remember, I said we are going to get an expanded Vantage deal for 25 because Army Data Platform 2.0 is not ready. The funny part is about this deal is because we were right that it's not ready, they gave them 4 full years. So to me, that means it's not even close to ready. And Vantage is just such a superior product that they don't know if they're going to be able to develop something just as good or better than what they currently have. Or they think, you know what, maybe we need 2 or 3 years to really flush this out. And in the meantime, just make it easy on everybody. Give Palantir a contract for multiple years. Vantage is here. It's not getting rid of, and we will continue to focus on bridging the gap to Army Data Platform 2.0. So the Vantage deal, if you remember, was one of the big things that blowhard loser Louis De Palma was shitting on Palantir about because it was, oh, the Vantage deal is going to end and then it's going to be multi-vendor. It's like, yeah, dude, you're so right that you're wrong by 4 fucking years because you don't know that the other vendors aren't living up to their part of the bargain. So Palantir is so much better that they got to keep Vantage of their own for another 4. So, like, they just don't know. And that's fair because we're not supposed to know. So
but the fact that they thought that the multi-vendor procurement could easily happen just goes to show how hard building a data platform actually is, living up to the challenges. And if the Army has to cough up another 600 million, just even to buy some time for another 4 years, it's because Palantir only has the best software that can get this done.
correct. And I think the other part of it is, and granted, I don't know all this, and you don't know all this, and no one and many in the community is, we don't have access to Vantage. So, and we don't really, and we've never seen Vantage.
Yeah.
We've seen Maven to a degree. So we've never gotten an eye on what truly Vantage is like for day to day. And they've said Vantage is used day to day. And Vantage basically, it's a data-driven operations decisions making platform that enables Army users at every level across all classifications to view comprehensive Army-wide data, analyze trends, and make data-driven decisions. So this is something they can't just shut down for a day and then be like, all right, we'll be back tomorrow with Army data. Like, no, this doesn't, no. Everybody that has access to Vantage needs access to it on a daily day at any given moment. So that's partially why they said, give them the 4 years. They got it. We know it works, and we will continue to build ADP 2.0. And in terms of Palantir's effort for that, I assume what that will be is it will be Palantir, it will be Bose Allen, which, if you remember, they're now deepening their relationship. And it's because I think their Advana platform is going to be another major component of this Army Data Platform 2.0. So, little history check for everybody. If you remember when they did the Afghanistan withdrawal, and I know I've spoken about this many times, but it just goes to show you how incredible Palantir's products are. And granted, the pullout was messy. That's not Palantir's fault. They're the software product that they provide. They're not choosing how it's being used. They're saying, here you go, you use it as need be. They're not making these decisions. But when they did the Afghanistan effort for the withdrawal, it was Project Orsis. And I think it was 4 or 5 systems that they used to gather all the data. It was Vantage, it was Warp Core, it was Advana, and there was one more Palantir platform. I want to say it was the Envision, which was basically, Brown Heron. So, they had 4 platforms, and 3 of the 4 were Palantir, and the other one was Advana. So when you see these deepening of relationships with Bose Allen, and we're going to talk to some other, I'll call it, information technology companies when we get deeper into this, you're going to see that they're working together and they're all eating the pie together. Originally, it would have been like, no, we don't want to work together because we want this for our own. Now they're starting to see. You see it with L3. You're seeing it with Bose. And they're realizing they're not here to take all of our money and business. They're here to make sure America is better positioned today than it was yesterday, and we're all going to prosper. That's the key. So when you see Bose, that's why you're really seeing that. So with ADP 2.0, it will be Palantir, Bose, a couple other, vendors that we'll see, but the backbone of it will be handled by Palantir.
Right. Well, this is really exciting. None of us expected another 4 years of it. The fact that we got it, I think, was just another cherry on top. And it goes to show the government business, which accelerated last quarter. It's part of the reason Bank of America upgraded us, because Mariana thinks it's going to accelerate further into that 30% growth range. Looks like it is very possible to happen. Having said that, we got this headline, so let's get into some really juicy stuff here.
Just before you bring up the headline, just someone tweeted at DV literally right before this about, the government business is not going to be able to scale and whatnot. And I literally commented, I'm like, the government business is an alpha growth business. So the biggest problem with the government right now, other than obviously delivering more products and services that they need to do, is that the government, and especially with Maven, and this is the big thing, is they can't quantify the compute cost. That's the big hurdle with the government. But continue.
Yeah, no, I agreed. And look, a lot of people that are doubting the government business, they've continued to be wrong about doubting the government business.